Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to another edition of the still unnamed travel show. I did get a lot of great responses to my request last week to name this travel segment, so thank you to everyone who did submit a comment. Some of them were quite rude, some of them were very creative, but a lot of them were just acronyms that spelt like naughty words. But I appreciate all the effort that you put in, so thank you if you sent a name in. Do you have 19 episodes of The Wire to watch? Well, that's good, because now you can watch them on board Singapore Airlines' newest flight, the longest flight in the world. It's a 19-hour trip between Singapore and Newark in New York. Now, just a bit of trivia and 5 internet points to anyone who knows the answer to this question. What was the previous world's longest flight? Now, this isn't a new flight. Singapore Airlines actually used to fly this leg between Singapore and New York up until 2013, but it wasn't commercially viable because of the rising fuel costs. However, with the advent of the A350-900, the ULR, or ultra long range, now that means it's more fuel efficient to be able to fly that leg, so they brought it back on. Interestingly, the A350-900 ultra long range is also the aircraft that Qantas are considering to potentially fly non-stop in 2022 between Sydney and London. Anyone travelling to the US soon, not only at security will you have to remove your shoes, you'll have to remove your belt, you'll have to enjoy a rigorous pat-down as I did at Tampa recently, but also if you're carrying more than 350 millilitres of powder in any form, you may have to get prepared for some additional scrutiny. The TSA has said that those powders that they may be looking at in more detail would include things like cosmetics, it could be energy drink powder, baby formula powder, whatever you might be taking in that form. If it's over 350 millilitres, then yeah, they might actually be paying a little bit more attention to that than they have been previously. Now, I did check on the TSA website and there wasn't anything specifically on there about the powders, and this is an important point. This isn't actually a ban on powders over 350 millilitres. It's just that if you are going to be carrying them into the country or through a TSA security screening point, then maybe be prepared for some additional scrutiny, whatever that means. Google Flights, the booking system that nobody uses, has actually added a pretty cool feature if you are flying in the US for costs associated with taking on carry-on baggage. Now, one of the biggest bugbears that I have with online booking systems is when you go through and you can see the price of the flight, and then you get to the end and you get all those add-ons like taxis and additional baggage and additional luggage. You'll notice this new filter at the top for bags. If you click on that, you can actually turn on this switch, which will include those carry-on prices in the prices shown. And I'll give you an example. Let's find a Scoot fare, for example. So here's Scoot. This is non-stop LAX to Las Vegas. If I click on the flight, you can see here there's actually a charge. The carry-on bags is $100 per person, but now that $100 is not just going to be shown to you at the end of the booking. You can actually incorporate that into the price when you're comparing. Now, this is of course particularly relevant if you're just really looking for the cheapest airfare. So if you're looking for the cheapest in whatever class between A and B, make sure that you turn on the bags option, and then you'll get a more accurate comparison of costs across multiple carriers. And now a brand new segment on the unnamed travel show, which is travel technology, travelology, techno-travel, tech travel knowledge. Now, you can't call yourself a travel YouTuber if you do not travel with an electric skateboard and a drone. Electric skateboards and carrying those on airplanes, actually, I might do another video on this channel about that, because there's a whole bunch of information relating to batteries and watt hours and what you can take on an airplane and what you can't, but we'll come to that. In the meantime, drones. Now, I, like any other traveler, love to take my drone with me when I go traveling, just to get a different perspective on the places you're visiting, and of course to get that really sick footage of you walking along a path or down a beach or something, which you can then show your friends at home or put on YouTube. Whatever capacity you're looking to use your drone for, obviously check with your airline to make sure that you can take it on the trip that you're planning to take. But once you get your drone to your destination, therein lies the first problem, and that's what I want to talk about here, and that is, where am I actually legally allowed to fly my drone in this foreign country that I now find myself in? Here in Australia, I use an app called Can I Fly There, which is Can I Fly There or Can I Fly Here? What is it? Here in Australia, I use an app called Can I Fly There, which is an app actually created by CASA, which allows you to basically put in your location and it will show you the airspace where you're currently located, and it will tell you if you can fly your drone in that place or not. Now, I'm heading to the UK soon, so I downloaded Drone Assist, which is an app created with NATS, the National Air Traffic Service in the UK. And here's my problem. You download the app, you get all ready to use it to find out whether you can fly your drone in the location you're currently at, and they make you register an account. Now, we all know that the biggest reason why people will stop using an app is because you force someone to register an account with it. And my big problem with all of this is I think there will be a lot of responsible drone pilots who download the app, are just about to fly their drone, fire up the app for the first time, and when they're asked to register, they have to make one of two decisions. Either they're going to stop the whole drone flying exercise and spend some time to register an account, or they're going to close the app down, forget about checking the airspace, and launch the drone anyway because that's what they went out for in the first place. Now, I don't condone the second option at all, of course not. I think you should always check whether you can fly a drone legally and safely before you launch the thing into the air. But come on, Nats. I mean, seriously, you've got to expect that some people are going to look at that registration process and just think, oh, do you know what? It's a beautiful day. My drone's all ready. I'm just going to stick it up there anyway. And finally, yes, it's time for my favourite section on this segment, which is what is the best credit card that I can get this week in order to get a ton of frequent flyer points. This week, we've actually got a credit card which can earn you up to 120,000 bonus points. I know, right? This is the Westpac Altitude Black MasterCard, but it's the MasterCard Plus Amex deal, so you need to get both to get the 120,000 points. Now, I'll be honest with you, from the start, this isn't a cheap option, but this is a good option if you want to get a lot of frequent flyer points. Now, a warning, there are annual fees associated with both these cards. It's a $250 annual fee with the MasterCard, and then there's an additional $50 on top if you want to convert those to Qantas frequent flyer points, then an additional $199 for the American Express card. A couple of additional benefits with this card, then you also get access to the American Express lounges, you get access to the Priority Pass lounges, and there are 2 complimentary Qantas Club lounge access passes with this offer as well. That's it for another episode of the Unnamed Travel Show. Let us know in the comments below if you have got a better name for me than that. Also, give us a like if you enjoyed that content and you found it useful. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you click on that subscribe button. In the next couple of weeks, I'm off to the UK for a mammoth couple of weeks, which is going to feature a lot of new lounges, a lot of first-class lounge access, hopefully, which I'm looking to get in Hong Kong so I can bring that content to you. Also, a lot of aviation stuff as well, because I'm looking to get to the Farnborough Air Show, and I'm spending a few days down there with hopefully some behind-the-scenes access to bring you some cool content down there as well. Thank you as always for watching. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.